What's going on to you, Aquarius, out here? Hopefully, y'all are having a good day. You, Aquarius, have the Justice, the Eight of Pentacles, and then you have the Hierophant. So what's going on here for you is basically about how you, Aquarius... Okay, so you, Aquarius, there's a sense of you, Aquarius, are listening to your own instincts. You're listening to yourself. You're listening to that inner voice. You're listening to the master, yourself. And you're using that as a guide. You're learning to listen to yourself, like I said, a lot more, because that hasn't steered you wrong. And people have steered you wrong, but the master, aka yourself, hasn't steered you wrong, right? That higher consciousness has not steered you wrong. And so the things that the Justice represents, finally, you, Aquarius, start listening to yourself a lot more. Again, like, people not gonna like what it is that I have to say, but again, like, observing an Aquarius, and I'm a Virgo, I pay close attention to how you, Aquarius, move. Your friends can get you into some stuff, you feel me? And your social circle, your surroundings could get you into a whole world of wildness. And so the situation for you, Aquarius, is that it takes you a minute for you to really kind of pay attention and to really stop indulging or engaging in like what your surroundings has got going on, right? Because again, y'all love y'all friends, y'all love the people whom you hang out with, but just because you may love them doesn't mean that they have the best interest for you, right? And so the thing is that for you, Aquarius, you've learned over the years how to listen to yourself, even more so now, truth be told. So the next batch, I'm actually going to do the yearly overview of 2026, by the way. It's just, I'm just focused. I'm in my bag. But the point that I'm trying to make here with you, Aquarius, is that this is a huge victory for you, because this is more so about how you, Aquarius, are just so focused on, doing your thing and living your life, and focused on doing what you got to do, to the point where, like the goof troop stuff that would distract you, what people say, the arguments, the this, the that doesn't affect you anymore, because you, Aquarius, don't care, right? You have a bigger perspective on life in a usual sense, but you understand what this stuff means now, right? I think from my own personal perspective, from what I've observed, a lot of you, Aquarius, can have an understanding, but you can still get into the hood politics, the stupid things that hold you back, right? And let me go ahead and make this perfectly clear too. Anyone can get into that, but you have you're a zodiac sign that has a propensity to where you love the street stuff. You love being on the scene. You feel what I'm saying? And you realize from personal experience that that's not really going to get you where you want to go, because you can't hang around stupid individuals and then expect them to be able to figure out what 1 + 1 is. That's not going to happen. And so next two cards that you got are the High Priestess and the Queen of Swords. You've done the work to actually change. You, Aquarius, have done the work to change your life around, right? And so now the High Priestess and the Queen of Swords is about, now you have to do more work to keep making yourself better, because you, Aquarius, are still changing, right? Remember how it is that I was talking about through the summer, that you've been making a lot of changes. You've been making tremendous change. One of those things that you're doing, you got rid of the goofies, started listening to yourself, started paying attention and relaxing with the people that make a considerable, that holds weight in your life. You know what I mean? Like, whether it's family or genetically, or the people, or it's not family genetically, right? But you think of them as being close, like family, you know, because friends can end up being family too, you know, either by marriage or, you know what I'm saying, you know, marriage, or like just based upon the fact that y'all are that cool, y'all consider each other family, even though y'all are not genetically related. But the point that I'm trying to make here is you started focusing, and now you Aquarius are going through more changes. The only thing that is consistent in the universe is change, baby. So now you Aquarius have a Scorpio energy, right? Shedding that skin again, changing again, morphing again. What you morphing into is the Judgment and the Four of Cups, the letting go, the deliverance of even things, more things that hold you back. And you're not gonna like it. I'm gonna just keep it a buck with you, Aquarius, right? Because you know I'm be honest with y'all. Y'all not gonna like it, because it gets to a point where when you on this path, you growing so much to the point where you give up so many different things. You start to kind of you start to not like the fact that you have to let go of certain worldly things, right? Y'all know I gotta break out the chart. Y'all know I gotta break out the chart. Listen, I gotta dust the chart off too. But look, this is Malkuth, right? This is Malkuth. This is Bina or Bina, right? Saturn and the Earth, right? The bride to be is Malkuth, the Earth. She's caught in materialism. How she ends up getting free is here. She becomes the divine feminine. Okay. What I'm trying to say here with that is when you get to a level where you change and you keep changing, because a lot of you Aquarius are making huge leaps and bounds in career, in spirituality, or maybe religion, a lot of breakthroughs. You get to a point where you go through so much change to the point where what you're giving up, it just seems like you're giving something up every other week. And it's like, what is going on? Like, why are you giving up all? Like, you start to ask yourself, am I going out of my mind? I'm becoming someone completely different, because the things that I like, I don't even like anymore. And like I said, it seems like you're giving something up every other day. And so what's going on here is that's what the Scorpio energy, the Judgment, and the Four of Cups represent. Some of you may be letting go of the partying. No more fire water, if you know what I mean. No more of that. Some of you may decide to not do that at all. Some of you may limit it, right? Every now and again, huge changes. And some of you may not, chief it up anymore. Decide to not do it at all or limit it. Regardless of the who to what, humongous changes are happening to you, Aquarius. And you, Aquarius, can't believe the kind of change that you have, right? And then you have the King of Wands and the Ten of Wands. So these two cards right here represents how you're in a place where, for you, Aquarius, the King of Wands and the Ten of Wands, it speaks to you don't need the things that you were attached to, the habits that you did, whatever dysfunctional habits, you don't need it anymore. It worked for a time, but now that time has gone, and you, Aquarius, don't need what this is. You don't need whatever that is, whatever this represents, whatever kind of distraction that you, Aquarius, have or had, past tense, to use. You, Aquarius, don't want to use it anymore, and so you won't. Humongous change, right? Humongous change. Yeah. I was going to say something, but never mind. whatever. For those people who want to know what I was going to say, I was going to say, yeah, like, I was going to give this Aquarius the entire universe. Remember how it is that I kept talking about the whole clip off and everything like that, and how the clip off is very powerful, because those people who actually succeed in a clip off, they actually end up owning the universe spiritually and everything like that, and physical changes manifest. I was going to introduce someone who she knows who she is, but I was going to introduce someone who I care about very much into the clip off, to help guide her through it and to be successful with it. And she would have had the universe doing what it is I was supposed to be doing, raising her up from the bride to be to the Shekinah. And a lot of y'all probably asking yourselves, what is the Shekinah? The Shekinah is the bride of the Most High, is what the Shekinah is, right? So, yeah. So, yeah, that's a whole other story. Anyway, the King of Wands and the Ten of Wands here represent how a lot of you, Aquarius, again, like, you don't need it anymore. Like I said, that's for a time, and that you don't need it anymore. You've accomplished certain things, and then now you can do without. So let's clarify the King of Wands, right? Where is your outlook? I have a perspective of where your outlook is, but just to clarify it for you, the Eight of Michael, Queen of Raphael, Ace of Raphael, Five of Ariel, and then you have the Four of Gabriel for you, Aquarius. So to clarify, the King of Wands, you have the Eight of Michael, Queen of Michael, and then you have the Ace. No, excuse me. I want to get this right. Eight of Michael, Queen of Raphael, and the Ace of Raphael. That's right. So for you, Aquarius, what this means here is to clarify the King of Wands. So what this means here is that here you go, right? Realizing that you're going through another alchemical process. It's an internal process. You're changing again. The things that would have made you weak, the crutches that you had, you don't need it anymore. You are just quitting whatever would have held you back, that would have been a distraction. I will let you, Aquarius, know another thing too. I don't know if you, Aquarius, are experiencing this, but another thing too that you, Aquarius, will experience if you have a lot of friends, is that when you evolve, and as you keep evolving, your friends will no longer be your friends anymore, because they cannot keep up with you. Who you are and who they are won't be able to work. I'm telling you, Aquarius, who are going through that from personal experience. I, as a teenager, it was very difficult for me to have maintain a lot of friends. A lot of people knew me, and I could fit in pretty much any group, but it was very difficult for me to maintain a lot of friends, because again, like the progress, the things that they were interested in, I was not interested in, and they don't really seem to understand, my style of teaching. Because like I said, I was a leader of a group full of Libras, and I'm a Virgo, but a lot of them were Virgos. What I was teaching them to do is raise themselves up and to be masters of their own, leaders of their own, right? Master students of their own. But they didn't want to do that, right? They wanted to follow up behind me, but I didn't want a clique. You understand what I'm saying? In that sense, like I wanted friends I wanted it to be decentralized. I didn't want to be the leader. I wanted us to all be leaders and get along with one another, right? In our own right. And the thing about it is that they didn't understand what I was doing, right? Instead, they wanted to put themselves underneath my rank instead of rise up to my rank. You understand what I'm saying? Rise up. So That's what it is that I try to do with y'all here. That's what it is I try to do everywhere I go. I try to rise, make, have people rise up, basically. Not make them, but have them rise up. And so, you, Aquarius, you are rising up, and like I said before, just to kind of prepare y'all. I'm saying that with the losing the friends to prepare y'all, because I don't want you, Aquarius, coming here and being like, yo, like, you keep evolving and you finding it more hard for people to relate to you and for you to relate to other people. No, excuse me, scratch that. You can relate to a lot of other people, but they can't relate to you. They can't. See, people use like dysfunctions as a means of like bonding with people. But like when you don't have a lot of dysfunctions, you don't sip, you don't chief, you don't really rock with sports, right? Because I don't really rock with sports. The sports that I usually watch are all like pugilistic sports, combat sports, right? MMA, boxing, wrestling, like not WWE, right? I used to watch that. I'm talking about like grappling, wrestling, jujitsu, like stuff like that. And I do watch wrestling from time to time, WWE, you know what I'm saying? But people can't bond with you, right? Like I don't know how many times LeBron James made a layup. Like I don't know, right? Like I don't know these things. That will put you naturally at odds with other people because you're supposed to know these things in order for you to be able to have a mundane life and to fit in. And so that's the catch 22 that I've been talking about you, Aquarius, the whole time. For within the past year, it's this back and forth that you, Aquarius, are having between being worldly, secular, which is worldly, and being not secular, right? Right hand path, which is worldly, having a bunch of friends, being out there, versus the things that you want to do deep down. You want to have friends, and there's nothing wrong with that. But at the same time, you, Aquarius, left hand path, you want to do more things. You want to do things bigger than that. And that requires letting go of the individuals who cannot go past a certain point, but you can. Me, I gave up to kind of put you, Aquarius, on more game. I gave up on so much. I gave up on going to parties. I gave up on doing the vast majority of things that regular people do, going to parties, going to clubs. I've been to a party every now and again, but I never stayed for a very long time. I never drank anything when I was there, right? The only time that I was really, have I been to parties? Yeah, but I was the one, I was one of the people throwing it. It wasn't a matter of like, I'm arriving to the party. I never stayed at any party that I arrived in. I had to be one of the people that was throwing the get together. You understand what I'm saying? With the people who were helping me throw, obviously, the get together. But the point that I'm trying to make here with that is like, being different, it put me in a place where I did feel separated. And I was. But now I feel more connected than ever because it's the realization that I've made my choice. I've chosen left hand. I've chosen to create that separation and to pursue individual endeavors because I am saving myself. I have saved myself. I'm continuing to save myself. I will help other people along the way, but I also understand that I can only save myself. And in that case, like Bruce Leroy or Leroy Green, I've become the master in that sense, right? Same thing with you, Aquarius. That's what I'm reading, right? The five of Ariel, the four of Gabriel, right? The five of Ariel represents this letting go, and the four of Gabriel represents to do things that you love. So it's like you, Aquarius, are going back and forth. You have two things that are juxtaposing each other. You have to choose. There will be things that you will have to give up, either or. If you choose worldly things, then you cease to gain higher heights in spirituality. People who choose right hand path become more worldly. They choose to dissolve into the collective unconscious, meaning that the Leviathan, meaning do the regular mundane things, right? They may have a little bit of knowledge, but at the same time, they are doing things from a worldly perspective. They do it in a group, as to where people who are left hand, they have to let go of a lot of the things. This is why they was talking about be of the world. This is why in the good book it was talking about be in the world but not of it. That's what they was talking about. Be in the world but not of it is left hand path. Being in the world, that's left hand path energy, because people choose to be in the world and of it, outside partying, doing anything. But you Aquarius are in a juxtaposition where it's the things that you want to do versus the things that you know you need to do. There's something that you Aquarius know that you need to do, but you're kind of not confronting it because you know what it means. And it may look, I ain't even gonna get too far. I'm gonna say no more. That's pretty much it. Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, share the video. Trying to get the YouTube channel to 100K. Smash the subscribe button, smash the like button, hit the notification bell, set the notification bell to all so you can be notified whenever it is I drop, whenever I drop my videos. As of right now, we're heading towards 30,000 subscribers. Thank y'all so much. Really appreciate it. If you want to come through and get a personal reading, the link to that is in the comment section below, called the Linktree link. And yeah, appreciate it.